Howdy, it's Jim Murado, and this is late August 2022, and we were in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. I find myself here at least a couple times a year, and often a few times a year if I'm lucky. I like to get down here as often as I can, and we stopped at the Sugarlands Visitor Center, which, yeah, I'm here a lot. This is just a visitor center I find myself stopping at quite a bit. And I thought I would swing through their little museum here and just put up a quick video. Lots of taxidermied critters with information about the various creatures that are in the area. So I thought I would just put that video up real quick and chat a little bit about the Great Smoky Mountains. And I know there's a ton of info out there on the Smoky Mountains, but yeah, I thought I would just put up a quick video. And as I'm sure you know, this is the most visited national park in the U.S. It gets a ton of visitors, and I'm sure just the fact that you've got Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge there, it's a great way for a family to take a week off and get a whole lot in. You get a great national park and a couple of fun towns, so it's a very doable and fun to do area. And yeah, and I find myself here all the time. I love it. I do enjoy Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, but I like doing a whole lot of the park too. And it's the park just packs such a wallop. I thought I would mention that I am a member of the Great Smoky Mountains Association. I think that's what they call it. The Great Smoky Mountains Association. I want to say it's maybe $35 a year to join. And they have a really cool little magazine that I get quarterly. And you also get a 10% discount at the National Park gift shops here at Great Smoky Mountains. And I think they reciprocate with some other national parks. I'm not sure about that, though. But, yeah, that's a cool thing to join. One of the rangers did tell me, though, on this trip, that when you go to renew, and I know I just renewed through the mail this year, you get better swag if you renew at one of the national park visitor centers. So I've got to keep that in mind for next year. So, of course, the Great Smoky Mountains are known a lot for bears, and I did have a bear sighting on this trip. I'll put up another video or two about that later. Happened out at Cades Cove. I'll also say, as I get older, and I think this is probably the case with most people that come down here a lot, the older I get, the more I'm doing stuff in the national park part of this area, and I'm doing less and less in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. Again, I still enjoy those areas, but I enjoy just driving around and being in the national park part of this. Oh, look at that snake. And I thought I would mention, too, a few books that I like about the national parks. And if you've seen my other videos, I've mentioned these books before, but Bear in the Back Seat, Adventures of a Wildlife Ranger by Kim Delosier and Caroline Jordan. There's actually 2 volumes of this book, and I keep hearing a third one's going to come out. I'd sure love for that to happen. But really, really cool couple of books by a former national park ranger, mostly dealing with bears and other wild animals and his experiences with them here in the parks. And they're really cute stories, and it's the kind of stuff that if you've got a middle schooler, they could definitely read those books and enjoy them and get through them pretty quick. Or if if you've got a mature reader, they could also enjoy those books. And those are probably 2 of my all-time favorite books, especially dealing with national parks and wildlife. And they're very popular books, but they still don't get the credit they deserve. Those books are readily available, though, all over the place. In fact, I was at the Cumberland Gap National Park Visitor Center the other day, and they had signed copies. So even when you're not near Gatlinburg, it's a fairly easy couple of books to pick up. Also wanted to mention any book with Dwight McCarter's name on it is worth picking up. Another former ranger, and I believe he was into search and rescue. He's written some interesting books about the parks. One of my favorite is Mayday, Mayday, aircraft crashes in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, 1920 to 2000. And that's just some fascinating stuff. Yeah, just wanted to mention that. And then Juanita Baldwin has written several books, mostly about mysteries in the Smoky Mountains. You know, she's kind of gotten into the ghost stuff and just kind of some other weird areas, while still being a very level-headed author. And I've enjoyed her books quite a bit. Smoky Mountain Mysteries is one of them I like. And she also wrote another one. She wrote Unsolved Disappearances in the Great Smoky Mountains with Esther Grubb. And some other newer books have covered some of the strange disappearances that have happened in the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. But this book was one of the first to really, in my opinion, one of the first to really cover some of those cases. There's 4 or 5 that really stick out. And she really, this book was one of the first to really go over those disappearances. And I like her writing style, and I think she's a good, sincere little writer. So I thought I would mention those books. Yeah, there's a interesting looking bear right there. And of course, here at the Sugarlands Visitor Center, they have your national park passport stamps if you get those canceled. I do. I have my little passport book. And there was a turkey the day we were here. So even though we weren't really out in the park just yet, we still had a turkey sighting, which is always cool. So anyway, yeah, I just thought I'd put up a quick video of the Sugarlands Visitor Center at Great Smoky Mountains National Park.
Yeah.